I can't wait. You're going on the train, Stinky. It's always fun, isn't it? Oh, hello there, my dear sweet little poppets, and of course, welcome to story time. Well, Stinky and I were just talking about our little train trip that we're going to be planning in the next couple of weeks. We're thinking about going to the city and going to the zoo because we've been reading lots of books about animals, haven't we, Stinky? Yes, we have. And Stinky's favourite animal is lions. He loves lions, don't you, Stinky? Yes, he does. Now, I have to say, I'm a little bit frightened of lions, and I mean, really, they are beautiful animals, don't get me wrong, but they do have lots of sharp teeth, my little poppets, so I'm a little bit scared of lions, but I'm sure it'll be perfectly all right when we go to the zoo, and we're going to see lots of animals there, Stinky. There's monkeys, and I think there's some tigers as well, and perhaps some bears, and all sorts of animals, dear. What's that? You don't want to get too close to the lions, even though you like them. Oh, yes, well, I'm sure it'll be all right. Oh, you're a funny mouse. You're always worrying about things, aren't you? You've got to stop that, Stinky. There's really nothing to be afraid of, dear. It'll be all right, okay, then? Yes. Well, we've been very busy, as you can see, my little poppets. We've made a wonderful lion cake here, and as you can see, he's lying there in a lovely grassy meadow, and there's some green lollipop trees there, and some jelly belly flowers, which I'm looking forward to eating, I have to say, when we have some nice afternoon tea. Now, you will also have noticed this wonderful lion mask here. So everything's decked out all lion, isn't it, Stinky? Yes, it is. Well, today's story, my little poppets, is called, and this is a wonderful one, I particularly like this one, it's called, wait for it, A Lion in Paris. Look at that, A Lion in Paris. Now, Stinky, I'm going to pop you under the tree, dear, because it's quite an unusual book, the way it opens up. So we'll have a go. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. It sort of opens up in a different way. But anyway, A Lion in Paris. And here we go, my little poppets. I'm looking forward to this one. A Lion in Paris. Oh, wait a moment. I can turn the page there. The pages are sticking together for some peculiar reason. Ah! Lions decided to fall down. There we are. He was a big lion, a young, curious and lonely lion. He was bored at home on the grasslands, and so one day he set off to find a job, love and future. Well, that's a bit unusual, I have to say, and I'll hold that there. Can you see that there? Is that all right? Yes, it's rather an odd book the way it opens up, I have to say. But that's all right. Ah, he's setting off for love, a job and a future. He arrived in Paris by train without any luggage. It was the first time he had been in a big city. Naturally, it was a little scary. Well, I suppose it would be for the lion. The train and the noise of all the people there. He wouldn't know what to think, I suppose. There he is there. I do like the illustrations, I have to say. Ugh. The lion waited to see if he would terrify anyone. He wondered if people would start screaming, if they would step aside in horror as he passed, or if they would pursue him with rifle shots. Well, I suppose he thought that everyone would be quite terrified, I guess. And there he is there with all the people. There he is there. Simply marvellous. Oh, I'm not used to this book opening up this way. It's quite difficult to hold. The people were hurrying around with a strange kind of sword under their arms, but nobody thought about attacking him. That surprised him. Well, they're not swords, the silly old lion. They've got baguettes there. They've got some lovely bread under their arms, which is something you do find in Paris. Although you can find them in your local supermarket. You don't have to go to Paris for one of those. Puzzled, the lion went down into the metro. The people on the platform hardly even glanced at him. So then he roared very loudly to make them turn round and look at him. And there he is there, giving out a great big roar. Can you see that there? A great big roar. Lots of things happening on that page. More than anything, the lion liked to be noticed, and he thought it was very sad to be ignored. Oh, he doesn't like being ignored. Well, nobody likes being ignored, do they? There he is there. When he went out into the street, it started to rain. That made him think of his lovely sunny grasslands, and he felt sad. He turned all grey and shiny like the roofs around him. Oh, so now he's not very happy. Perhaps the city life is not everything that he thought it would be. Perhaps that's what's wrong, I'm not sure. I think perhaps maybe he should go home. In the middle of the square, he saw a huge factory with workers going up and down in a transparent pipe. The sun came out again, making the building explode into thousands of stars of light. He stood there, gaping at it. Oh, he thinks it's rather pretty. I think he's in some sort of factory or something like that. He certainly is exploring and having a good look around, that's for sure. The lion walked along a river that cut the city in half, and the river smiled at him like a mirror. Oh, there he is there, my little poppets, checking out his reflection in the river. What a wonderful page that one is. I do like that. He's a very pretty lion, I have to say. Very, very pretty. The lion's... oh, wrong page. At last a girl noticed him, and her eyes followed him for a while with a loving, tender look. Oh, and there he is there. Looks like he might be in an art gallery, I think. Having a good look around. It's something I think Stinky and I must do. We haven't been to a gallery in a long time. The lion's heart was beating very fast. As he continued his walk along, at the top of an endless flight of steps, he saw a white castle. "It looks like an ice cream cake, doesn't it?" said an old lady, smiling at him. "Grrr," replied the lion. They went back down all the steps together. Well, she doesn't seem bothered by the lion, does she? And there she is there, walking side by side with the lion. I'll tell you, it's quite an ordeal holding this book. Then he came to an enormous iron tower, and he trembled with fear. He climbed right to the top, and the people down below looked like ants. He absolutely loved it. Well, I think everyone will know what this one is, and it's the Eiffel Tower. If you can see that there, the Eiffel Tower. Look at that. Wonderful. Stinky has been to the Eiffel Tower. As I have mentioned before in another story time, he's a very well-travelled mouse. He's been to many, many places. In fact, he'll be going away on another holiday soon, I think. The city that had appeared so dreary and frightening and grey in the morning now seemed to be smiling at him with all its windows. And there he is, and he's admiring the city, having a good look at everything. I think he's sort of changed his mind about the way he feels. I think he's quite enjoying it now. At a big crossroads, he stopped abruptly. There was a beautiful plinth standing in front of him. The lion climbed up onto it, put his two paws together, and gave a loud roar of joy. Then hundreds of cars tooted their horns to welcome him. And there he is there, in the middle of the city, and all the cars are tooting their horns. And finally he is noticed, so he's happy about that. He does look quite impressive sitting there, I have to say. Blasted book. I'm getting quite cross with it myself. I'm going to start roaring like a lion myself in a moment. Ah, pages are stuck together. This is the place for me, thought the lion, grinning. He looked into the distance and decided to stay, perfectly still and happy. And there he is there in the final page. Thank goodness for that. I don't think I could hold on to this book any longer. There he is there. Wonderful fellow that he is. Well, the end. And that was called The Lion in Paris. Look at that. A wonderful book with wonderful illustrations, I have to say, credit where credit's due, but rather difficult to hold. I hope you managed to see that. I did do my very best to hold it up and it was quite difficult. Well, we'll have a chat to Stinky. Stinky, my fellow, you're not dozing off falling asleep again, are you? You were! Oh, yes, you like to have an afternoon nap, don't you? Did you enjoy that story, dear? What's that? You're going to enjoy eating the cake even more? Oh, yes, so am I. We love a bit of cake, don't we, with a nice hot cup of tea? Well, Stinky, we've come to the end of story time, dear. It does go rather quickly, so it's time to say goodbye. Once again, my little poppets, thank you for tuning in and for watching story time. And as always, take care and bye!